So, as mentioned in the previous lesson, there is a paper about the entire Latin conjugation, a free version, as well as a Patreon-exclusive version with a bit more information on when to use what tense. Thus, if you want to already go a little bit ahead, have a look at this. The link is in the pinned comment, for both versions by the way. So, the idea for the next lessons is to introduce one group at a time, and by group I simply mean tense. For this lesson, we will start very simple with the present indicative active, aka the most basic one, and the endings should already be known from our last lesson. But just in case, here's a quick overview. O, s, t, mus, tis, nt. And again, those endings are simply being attached to the verb stem, and that's it. Here we use the present verb stem. So there's not really much going on. Now, we will have a look at a very simple and short text. It is one of the first texts I was introduced to when starting to study Latin at the university. I will provide the necessary vocabulary alongside, but I will not translate this text. And trust me, you will be able to understand it if you look at the vocabulary. The goal is not to understand every little bit, but to get a feeling of Latin. And of course, I will have the translations of those kind of text, as well as a bit of additional grammatical information, as Patreon exclusive stuff, since it is not really necessary, but at least a bit helpful. In the end, you should be able to understand it by yourself at some point anyway. And one last thing before we begin with the text. Do not worry about the declensions right now. We will get there as well. For now, just try to understand and see if you can spot patterns already. For example, certain endings that occur. In the following text, we will only have the third person singular. But that should not really matter, since you would simply need to replace the final t with one of the other endings we just mentioned. Apart from est, this one is actually irregular. Also, the what else you can already figure out. This is a very simple text, but we already can learn a lot from it. Marcus discipulus est, tabelam tenet, scolam intrat, grammaticum salutat, Graece et Latine scribere et legere libenter discit. Grammaticum autem timet, nam grammaticus saepe iratus est. Atticus grammaticus est, in sella sedet, Marcum non salutat, nam Lucium audit. Etiam Lucius discipulus est, fabulam Graecam legit, fabulam legere iuat, fabulam Marcum non delectat, nam Marcus eam saepe audire debet. Atticus autem Lucium laudat. Quintus discipulus libellum scribere studet. Scribere saepe non placet, nam errare non licet. Atticus libellum legit, et errorem invenit. Grammaticus iratus est, quintum vituperat, et valde clamat. Nunc timor magnus est, nunc Marcus recitare debet. Marcus non erat, Atticus non clamat, fabulam autem legere non iam delectat. So, now you have already learned a good amount of vocabulary with this short text, as well as a basic understanding of the syntax. Well done.